Hello class! Sa lecture video na to, i-discuss natin ang first step ng travel demand forecasting, which is trip generation and attraction. I'd like to note that before you proceed with this step 1, kinakailangan ay na-develop mo na muna yung databases na gagamitin mo for your study, which is corresponding to your step 0 or database development. So, halimbawa, kinakailangan mo ng socioeconomic status like household income or let's say car ownership per household and also population density sa iyong study area. Alright, once na-settle mo na yon and ultimately nga pala, kinakailangan nakuha mo na yung trips for the present time. Right? Kasi yun yung magiging or one of the bases mo para ma-project sa future yung trips, right? Which is yun yung ultimate objective natin for this topic. A number of methods are available for estimating trip generation and attraction. The more commonly used ones may fall under any of the following. Currently, we have three na most commonly used. First, growth rate method. Pangalawa, category analysis. And third one is regression model. Discuss muna natin yung growth rate method. The number of trips are assumed to be influenced by several variables like population, car ownership, or income. If future values of these variables can be statistically or can be estimated statistically, then the future number of trips may be based on the growth rates of these variables and may be estimated as follows. Using this fundamental formula, T sub I prime equals T sub I times F sub I, where T sub I is either the trip generation or trip attraction of zone I. F sub I is equal to P sub I prime over P sub I times M sub I prime over M sub I, or that is equivalent to growth rate of the zone I. M sub I naman natin corresponds to index of activity of zone I. So, halimbawa dyan are the socioeconomic indicators, car ownership, income, etc. Then, we have T sub I prime, P sub I prime, M sub I prime, which represents future values of these parameters, no? And lastly, T sub I, P sub I, M sub I, yung kanilang present values. So basically, pag tinignan natin yung formula or expression na to, ang idea lang is that yung present value ng any parameter, i-multiply mo sa isang factor or multiplier. In this case, ang tawag natin ay growth rate. Yun na yun, makukuha mo yung forecasted value mo per category or per indicator. Proceed naman tayo sa second method, which is category analysis. Assuming the number of cars is considered the main variable in determining trip making in a certain area. Based on the present number of household and trip making activities, the future trips can be estimated as follows. Actually, this is an example, no? Elaborate muna natin itong description ng category analysis. Ito kasi ay ito yung original, no, na ginamit as trip generation and attraction method ng US during the 1950s kung kailan dinevelop itong travel demand forecasting, no? Ang assumption nila doon ay dalawa. Una is that yung cars ang mode of transportation in, or sabihin natin na ito yung kanilang avenue in creating trips or pagta-travel nila. Yun yung unang assumption. Pangalawang assumption is that present number of household and trip making activities. Ang idea nito is that galing sa household or sa tahanan or sa bahay yung trip maker or yung traveler papunta sa kung saan man siya pupunta. Right? Let's say sabihin nating ikaw, no? Bilang student, and sabihin nating normal setting na kung saan pumapasok sa school, sa NU. So, ang assumption in using category analysis is manggagaling ka sa household nyo or sa bahay nyo. At ang destination mo is, ayun nga, kung papasok ka sa NU or kung pupunta ka sa mall, sa shopping center, yun yung destination mo. Pero kailangan ang origin mo is always household. Ito yung catch. What if galing ka sa school, tapos pupunta ka sa mall or sa shopping center, then hindi na applicable itong method na to. Kumbaga yun yung kanyang cons, no? Category analysis. Yeah, nonetheless, let us illustrate this method using or in this example, no? Suppose the following table shows the current condition based on the interviews. Ayan, meron tayo ritong dalawang parameters or socioeconomic indicators, family size at car ownership. Right? Discuss muna natin yung car ownership. Number of cars per household. Ibig sabihin, sa isang pamilya, ilan yung sasakyan na sa kanila, pagmamay-ari nila. So, that means yun. Ito yung ibig sabihin ng 1. So, ibig sabihin, isang kotse para sa isang pamilya, tas yung pangalawa is dalawang kotse sa isang pamilya. Second parameter natin is family size. So, meron tayong 1, 2, 3, tsaka more than 3. Ito yung bilang ng miyembro ng pamilya. No? So, kung isa lang, ibig sabihin, single lang siya. Mag-isa lang siya sa buhay. So, yan, 1. And for 2 naman, siguro sabihin natin na couple sila, or partner, or magkapatid, no, na magkasamang tumitira sa bahay. And more than 3 or 3, no, so yan, and so on, more than 3. Sabihin natin na single siya, no? Single yung tao na nakuha natin sa study area, tapos meron siyang possession na isang kotse. Ibig sabihin, magfo-fall siya under this cell kasi family size 1, number of car per household is 1. So, isa siya dun sa 100 households na nakuha from that study area. Okay? Tapos, ito silang 100 households na 1:1. Ang trips na pinoproduce or nakikreate nila or na-generate nila is 200. Okay? Halimbawa naman is yung couple or partner. Meron silang pagmamay-ari na isang kotse. Dito sila sa cell na to, particular cell na to, 200. Ibig sabihin, 200 silang pamilya na merong isang kotse na pagmamay-ari. At ilan yung trips na nakikreate or na-generate nila? 500. And so on. Okay? That is how we interpret this table. Ngayon, using category analysis from this data, the average trip generation rate per category can be estimated by dividing the number of trips by the number of households in each category. Okay? May bago tayong term which is trip generation rate. Rate meaning meron tayong dalawang parameters. Okay? Nakuha natin yung kanilang ratio. And since ang concern natin or ang objective natin sa topic na to is yung number of trips, yun yung numerator natin. Yung denominator is per household. Babalik tayo dun sa assumption number 2 ng method na to, no? Na kung saan galing sa household yung trips na napoproduce. Kaya siya per household. So, number of trips divided by number of households, yun yung tinatawag natin na trip generation rate. Doing so, we have these values. 1:1. Gagawin mo lang is 200 number of trips. So, 200 trips divided by number of households which is 100. So, 200 divided by 100, meron kang 2.0. For 2:1 naman, dalawang miyembro sa family at isang car possession, o 200 tas 500. Number of trips divided by number of households, 500 divided by 2 or 2.5. And just do the same process for the remaining cells. Meron ka ng rates. These trip generation rates are then applied to the forecasted number of households per category to obtain the future trip generation. After mong nakuha yung trip generation rate, ito yung, kumbaga, magiging multiplier mo. Diba? Nabanggit natin kanina sa definition or sa description ng category analysis na gagamit ka ng statistical models doon sa iyong socio-economic indicators para ma-project mo sila doon sa future na kinakailangan mo. Right? Let's say medium term or short term or long term. Right? Pag nakuha mo na yon yung number of households, then pwede mo na siyang i-operate sa iyong na-compute na mga trip generation rates. Ibig sabihin ko doon is, ito yung manggagaling sa statistical models mo. Number of households. Let's say, dun sa iyong 1:1, naging 200 na yung households. No, kanina 100, tapos naging 200 sila. Then, multiply mo lang to dun sa rate na na-compute mo, trips per household, which is 2. 200 times 2, that is 400. Ito na yung number of trips na na-project mo. Next naman is 2.5 ang ratio. Ang future na number of households dun sa zone na yan or sa category na to is 250. So, 250 times 2.5, 625. Or 3 naman, 3:1, 3. At 100 yung projection. So, 100 times 3, that is 300. Right? And gawin mo lang yon dun sa iba pang cells. Ang objective natin for this topic is these values or are these values, yung number of trips, projected or forecasted number of trips. Okay? Another example of this method, the city of Vigan had the following land use activity statistics during the morning peak hour in 2000. Estimate the total trip generation during that period. Dito naman, ang situation is meron tayong different land use types or activities, no? May residential, may hotels, hospitals, restaurants, commercial, and offices. Given na rin yung number of dwellers or ilan yung units dun sa particular land use na yon with their corresponding trip rates. So dito hindi na natin kukuhanin yung ratio kasi given na yung pinakang ratio or yung trip rates, no? AM in 1.52, AM out 3, and so on. Okay? Ang gagawin lang natin is, since given na tayo readily nung land use tsaka ng trip rates, i-multiply na lang sila with one another. The estimated person trips can be computed by multiplying column A with column B. So, for instance, itong 10,005 came from 6,582 times 1.52. Right? Kindly verify, 19,746 galing sa 6,582 times 3. Okay? So, sa lahat ng land use types, makukuha natin yung trips. Ngayon, the table summarizes the total trip generation. Kailangan natin dito ng assumptions, no? Kasi, kumbaga yung sa given, hindi siya specified. Ang objective kasi natin dito is trip generation. Diba dalawa yan? Trip generation tsaka trip attraction. Meron lang tayong AM in tsaka AM out. We need to specify one of them as the trip generation. Yung isa magiging trip attraction. So, assume natin Okay, residential units produce about 20,000 person trips in the morning. Trip attraction to various establishments is also obtained by considering all person trips coming in during the morning peak hour. Magiging assumption natin is that trip attraction ay nagaganap tuwing morning. Okay? Kung attraction, morning, edi siya yung AM in. Ibig sabihin, yung AM out, yun yung trip generation. Okay? It must be noted that all the total trip attraction does not equal total trip production because there are trips coming from outside the city of Vigan. Alam naman natin na Vigan City ay tourist city yan, ano? Meron tourist destinations sa lugar na yan. So, merong yung trips na nakikreate sa lugar na yan ay hindi lang local, hindi lang dun sa yung mga tao dun sa lugar nila. No? Meron ding mga nanggagaling sa ibang regions, ibang lugar. No? Let's say, sa NCR or galing sa Maynila, nag-travel or namasyal dun sa Vigan City. Okay? Na-discuss kasi natin dun sa introduction of travel demand forecasting na kinakailangan yung grand total or yung total trip production ay equal sa total trip generation. But in this case, we cannot conclude that dahil nga sa reason na yun, no? Yung ibang tao or ibang trip makers sa City of Vigan nanggagaling din sa ibang lugar. Right, sige, let's now solve, no? Actually, ito na yan. Specify mo na lang kung ano yung answer for the question. So, sila yung AM in. Kung babalikan mo, no? Let's say hotels, 151. Hotels in. Again, ang inassume natin ay yung AM in doon generate ng trips. So, yung sagot natin ay yung sa mga AM in.